We're going to do our Denver Broncos 2024 preview here on this 4th of July. And we start every preview off, as always, with the previous year's schedule and see how they did. For those of you that are new, what we do here is we break down each team all summer long. We're going to take a division. We'll break down each team. And then at the end of it, we'll do one team a day. And then we'll spend one day finding our best bets for that division and whatnot, and so on. And today is our last team of the AFC West. That's the Denver Broncos. And it was not a pretty season last year for them. It was kind of ugly, but they picked it up at the end of the season. Finished 8-9 though. I mean, not too bad, right? Not terrible, but definitely not what Sean thought it would be. Yeah, I mean, especially since you started off 1-5, right? That's not what Sean Payton. But they were, remember when they got housed by Miami 70-20, and everyone's like,
"Oh God, I did kind of forget about that." They did get a 70 spot hung on them. Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 weeks, right? They lost by 1 to Vegas. They lost by 2 to Washington. You're like, okay, then they lost by 50 to Miami, and we're like, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? And then they beat Chicago, which that one was close too. They had a couple close one with Miami, and then they kind of figured things out. And then they won 2, had a bye week. They beat Buffalo. That was a shocker. That's when I'm pretty sure I titled the stream, "The Buffalo Bills will never win a Super Bowl." I'm pretty sure that's when I titled the Sports Morning Espresso Shot that day. Buffalo Bills will never win a Super Bowl, and so far I am still right. Yeah, but they had a decent ending. They didn't end. The last month was just terrible. They lost to the Patriots. That's disgusting. I'm pretty sure I had the Broncos that week. Now that I remember it, I hate the Patriots. That's my team, by the way. I hate them. I hate them. But what do you take away from Sean Payton's first year with the Broncos? Obviously, we know they benched Wilson at the end of the season, and we'll get into the Wilson stuff after that. And they started Stidham. Stidham was actually Payton's guy. He brought him in as backup. He wanted Stidham, but he was kind of stuck with Wilson. But he wanted Stidham.
Yeah, that's been the rumor. It seemed to be the guy. He did not want Russell Wilson. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to go with that after all the money they gave to that man. But that was not the guy he wanted running his show out there. And I think you kind of seen that. They kind of did more come into form. Looked like they got to more what Sean Payton wanted to do late in the season. You talk about the 1-5 start was real bad, man. And but to get back to 8-9 after that 1-5 start, that's hard to do. You really played pretty good football the second half of the season to be able to get back to that number there after starting so poorly, especially with one of those losses, getting the 70 spot hung on you there at Miami. I mean, that's gross. But I don't know. I want to know, how do you feel about the Denver Broncos? Because I'm not sure that the jury's still out on them for me. I'm not sure what we're going to get out of them this year. I'm not so sure that Sean Payton ain't a little washed up himself, man.
No, I think the only reason why they turned it around was because Sean Payton is a great coach.
Okay.
I think that's a testament to his, because when you're 1-5, your season's over, right?
Yeah, most of the time, over. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they went off to win 5 in a row, and you got a little hope, but you gotta. It's hard to rally that locker room when you're getting when you get beat by 50. I think everyone knew they were going to win the following week. These are professional athletes, right? You don't get beat by 50.
Yeah.
Like, okay, listen,
I'll never miss that spot again.
We got to button it up, right? We got embarrassed.
Yeah, shameful.
But no, I think they're solid. I think they need a couple pieces, but we'll get into their depth chart and all that stuff here in a minute. But I don't know, man. I thought they had a good ending to the season, meaning they turned things around, so it was promising. Obviously, they had no chance of winning the division. I don't think there was much expectations there. And I always think there's a problem when you got your head coach and your quarterback not like aligned, right? They're not. That wasn't his guy, and personality, you could just tell that they do not mesh. So for what he had to work with, I thought it was solid. I looked at their depth chart yesterday. We'll get into that after we do the draft and stuff. I'm not really impressed with this team, but I do think this team going forward has some promise. So we'll see. We'll see.
They got potential for sure. Like I said, I think it'll be much smoother selling this year. But it's never good to have your big dogs kind of at odds with each other there. Your two most important people in the franchise with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. That wasn't a good deal there.
They did cash my second in the AFC West bet, though. The Raiders almost screwed that up for me.
They tried to screw that up for you.
Remember, I had that nice little, 9-1, 8-1, 9-1 that the Broncos would finish. They were projected to finish last. And that was one of my long shot bets. Was them?
I do remember you hitting that one. That was a good little find there, man.
Mm-hmm. I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead.
Oh, it was dead to rights after week 6, man.
And then I was looking good in here, and then all of a sudden they tried to screw me up. My Patriots, remember that? I remember it now because we were talking about it. I'm like, I should bet on my Patriots just because if they win, I'll win that. It'll hurt my chances of them finishing second, but I could still hit it and blah, blah, blah. I remember that whole conversation now. That was a little back and forth, a little mental game in my head for that one.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's get into some offseason news. So that's what we do here. We talk about offseason news. We'll talk about the draft. We'll take a look at their depth chart. We'll look at their salary cap. And then we'll look at their upcoming season and some odds and whatnot. The biggest news was the Broncos released Russell Wilson. And the reason why it was big news is because these ads, dude, get out of here. Because because there was so much left on that contract that they were going to have to eat. And they said, we don't care. We'd rather eat $53 million on the cap space to have you off the team.
That's when when they'll eat over $50 million in cap space. It's a bad deal for you, man.
Yeah, and they had to get it done before March 17th, or else $37 million would have been fully guaranteed. But then, so you can get it done, but then you can designate the move to be a post June 1st release. So for those of you that don't know, each team, they have a select amount of players that they can say, hey, we're going to cut you now, but it's not going to be officially on our books until after June 1st, because after June 1st is the new season. So then they can spread that money out across multiple seasons instead of it all being on this season. It's just the way they move the numbers around. But one of the collective bargaining agreements deal was players were like, well, I don't want to sit on your roster until June 1st, waiting to get cut, knowing you're going to cut me.
Yeah.
Not be able to go sign with
a job.
The deal was we'll give each team, like you could do, I don't know what the number is, but let's just say 5. You can have 5 players you can cut and then designate them post June 1st. That way those players are free to go sign and do whatever else and get going with their next team. And there's no, it's good for both sides, right?
Yeah.
So they can spread the cap charge over 2 years. However, instead of taking $35.4 million this year and $49.6 million in 2025, they've opted to absorb $53 million in 2024 and $32 million next year. So maybe this is not the year to bet on them because they ate up a bunch of their cap space this season to a guy that's going to be playing for the Steelers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You paid a bunch of money to a guy that's playing for another team, man. It's just hard to put all the pieces together that you need. We don't have that extra cap space.
So they've got 17.6 less in 2024 this season than they would have if they had chosen to take the 35.4 charge in 2024. That's crazy.
And that's the money, that 17.6, that's the money you use for all those plug and play type guys.
Yeah. The other news this offseason was they traded for Zach Wilson, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think anyone would actually trade, but I think, what did they give up? Like I said, let's see what they gave up.
He should have paid them to
exchange 6th round picks. So they gave him a 7th. That's what they gave him a 7th, and they exchanged 6th round picks. So they got Zach Wilson, the savior. Hide your moms.
Yeah, bro. Zach Wilson should have had to pay them to go play.
Derp says, I don't think it was Russ' fault. I think their team kept getting hurt and their defense sucks. But what do I know? I got 3-14 for the Broncos this season. Oh boy, that's
3-14. Wow. I'm sure it's not all Russ's fault, but I also don't think Russ is the player.
Derp says it's all his fault. No, wait, no. Derp's on his side. He says it's defense fault.
Yeah,
his defense wins championships.
I mean, it's part of all of them. I mean, there's no one guy on a football team makes or breaks you there. I mean, there's obviously some guys that are a little more important than others, when quarterback, obviously, but at the same time, man, you still all have to put in the work in. And ain't none of them were playing at all pro levels.
So here's their salary cap. It's kind of crazy to see that nobody is over $20 million of salary cap hit. This is the active roster, right? So Garrett Bowles,
good for him.
Well, he's a left tackle. You got to pay your left tackle.
I understand you got to pay your left tackle, but hell, I mean, has he really been protecting the quarterback all that great?
I mean, Russell Wilson was still standing by the end of the season as bad as he played.
I feel like he was running for his life, though.
Nah, he wasn't doing anything.
That's true.
Then you got Cortland Sutton, DJ Jones, Zach Allen is making 7.7. Tim Patrick. The best job in football cricket. We've said it time in and time out. Backup quarterback, Jared Stead. Now he's.
That's he's not even a backup now, though.
I know, but still, he's getting $7 million.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be a backup for the end of the season, but
Patrick Surtain, who's looking like I think he gets paid after this season because I think he's right. Is he entering his third
rookie
season?
contract? I mean, yeah,
he's on a rookie contract. I think he's entering his third season. So after the third season, they can extend him, which I don't know why they wouldn't.
Oh shit, he ain't staying in Denver.
They offer him a bunch of money. He's staying in Denver.
You don't think anybody else gonna offer him a bunch of money?
They can't. He's under contract with the Broncos.
I thought you said it was last year.
No. So he if this is his third season, I'm pretty sure if he was a 5th round draft pick, actually, then or if he was a 1st round draft pick, right?
I think so. Yeah, he was pretty high.
Then he's got 5 years on his contract because there's a team option on the 5th year. Okay. So sometimes they extend them at 4 and give them a bunch. Everyone always signs it. Everyone always signs
Gotcha.
Because you don't want to risk it.
That's
and then the rookie quarterback that they drafted this year, we'll get into that, Bo Nix. He's up
That's
there.
who's going to wind up starting for them for the end of the year.
Look at they're paying Javonte Williams only $2.8 million.
That poor dude too with his injuries, man. That guy's a pretty good football player, just can't stay healthy. Will Lutz,
$2.8 million. Congratulations, sir.
That's proud. Just kick a football or two.
Well, these are, I guess that's not. These are salary cap hits, so it's not exactly what they're getting this season, but they, between their signing bonus and stuff. What is that? Little Jordan Humphrey. Little
Jordan, man.
Not even making a milli.
Not even a milli, bro.
Let's see. Dead cap hit. Look at this. Look at all this dead cap hit, man. Oh my god.
These contracts, they still pale in comparison to the NBA.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they have so many more players,
That's true too. I guess you think about it that way.
It's 52-man roster plus extras compared to your 15, 12 plus your 3, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess there is a lot more money to go around.
And really, it's only like the top 3 to 5 players on an NBA roster make insane money. But Russell Wilson, $53 million dead cap hit. Randy Gregory is a $7 million cap hit. Look at this. That's $63 million between 3 players that is just dead cap. Maybe this is not the team. They still have dead cap hit on a kicker.
How does that happen? How do you still owe money to a kicker?
They still owe money to Frank Clark.
Brandon McManus is sitting there, don't even have to do shit this year. He's gonna make $1.2 million for hanging out.
Well, no, hold on. I want to make this clear. This money has already been paid out to these players.
Okay, so he don't make that money. Okay.
No. They've already been paid this money.
It has money they can't use.
And it has to be the way the cap works is once you've paid them like that, you see those guarantees, you see those signing bonus, they've got it. They can spread it out at certain points, but at some point it has to come on the books. So this money has already been given to these players and it's going on the books this year.
Man, that's got to sting though, man. Really got to sting.
Yeah, dude,
bro.
You've got, what is that? 20, let's say. So that's 23.5. We'll say 24. You got 25 just between these 3 players. You got 25% of your cap space of players that aren't even on your team anymore.
Man, that's what I'm saying. That's
not
bad front office
how teams win Super Bowls by having 25% less cap than everyone else.
That's not a recipe for success. I mean, yeah, you got a situation like the Broncos here. I mean, it's very hard to get the key pieces you need. You ain't got no money to spend.
Derp says that's just the Broncos for you. I guess so.
Broncos doing Broncos things, man.
I guess.
I didn't realize they brought over Josh Reynolds in free agency there from the Lions. It is solid team last year. He was kind of peaks and valleys.
That's the thing I forgot to bring up was the transactions. Damn it. Well, we got the draft here. I'll pull up the transactions.
Yeah, I'm looking at the transactions right now. I don't see anything that's really outside of kind of Josh Reynolds there.
Yeah, I was looking at their depth. I was looking at the roster, and it just nothing stood out to me. But round 1, I thought this was great. I thought it was a good pick. Rumors were out there that Sean Payton wanted the Bo Nix. Some people thought they could have got him in the 2nd round, but I don't fault the Broncos drafting at 12, taking Bo Nix. If you wanted him, go get him, because all the quarterbacks were gone at this point. Like all the top ones, like Bo Nix was one of the last ones left because we had so many quarterbacks that went that you don't know if you're going to get
Penix went high. Yeah.
That kind of threw everything off of that.
That really did throw everything. I think it made everybody behind him panic.
Well, then you got teams behind him that aren't even looking for a quarterback, but figured, oh, we're not going to have a chance at this corner or this left tackle or whoever was projected to go to the Falcons, right? Like, oh, and then all of a sudden that person's available and it changes up your whole draft strategy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's a lot of those guys. Like you got teams like the Raiders that had no thoughts that they were going to have a shot at Brock Bowers there at 13, and you wind up
exactly
change your whole strategy.
Yeah, they were just like, oh my goodness.
Jerry Jeudy also another big off-season move there. Jerry Jeudy gone to the Browns now.
Yeah, they traded him to the Browns. What did they get for him? I forgot.
I don't see that. They did trade him. I don't know that they. I mean, what are your thoughts on Jerry Jeudy?
I don't know. Feels like a bus.
Doesn't it though? Doesn't it just feel like kind of? I mean, it's one of those things. I hate to say that. I know the man's had some injury problems and stuff too, and obviously some issues at the quarterback position out there and stuff like that. But I've just expected a lot more out of Jerry Jeudy, and I mean, it's pretty clear to me that Cortland Sutton's been the top receiver in this offense for a couple of years.
What a move by the Browns! The Browns got Jerry Jeudy. They gave a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick for him. Here's the kicker. Those weren't even their 5th-round and 6th-round pick. They got it from the Panthers via the Baker Mayfield trade, and the 6th-round pick they got from the Texans for the Deshaun Watson trade.
Isn't that a beautiful thing, man? When you wind up taking somebody else's picks, and if Jerry Jeudy comes out and give him 800 yards receiving, I feel like you win that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, I'm usually one that says like I don't like these quarterbacks that have been in college football for so long. Those 5th and 6th year seniors usually doesn't pan out well in the league, and history has shown that it doesn't. But you got 2 this year. You got Penix and you got Bo Nix. I like this fit with Bo Nix in Denver. I don't know why. I like it. I just like you got. I think it's more so because he's matched up with Sean Payton, and we've seen what Sean Payton can do with quarterbacks.
Maybe that could be what saved him there. But I'm kind of with you. These guys that spend 4 and 5 years in college at the quarterback position, usually the reason you're spending that long there is because you're not really ready for the NFL. Maybe your game doesn't transition to the NFL. So I don't know what we're going to get out of Bo Nix just yet, but I'm not sold this is a match made in heaven like you think it might be.
Oh, Derpy says Jeudy will get hurt again, and the Browns won't do anything. Hey, you better hope Buku doesn't hear that. Them fighting words. Don't talk about his Browns like that. Shout out to Buku.
He's lived that Browns that tough life for a while now.
I know this is outside of what we're covering right now. What happened to the little league team? Did they end up winning that thing, or what happened?
No, man, they wound up taking it on the chin and that thing. They got in the losers bracket kind of early in that thing. I think on Sunday they had to win like 5 in a row. I think they won the first 2. And then wound up taking it on the chin. So they probably just ran out of gas, man. It was warm down this way and all that. They got the district championship and then they lost in the state. I'm not sure if they're going to wind up making the trip over to the Worlds. And I think the Worlds are in South Haven, Mississippi, probably about 5-6 hours from us. So I don't think they're going to make the trip down there. They had a lot of money invested in that stuff, man.
It ain't.
I think Buku needs him a break, man. But Buku's been wide open for months now. He needs a breather.
Yeah. No 2nd-round pick for the Broncos, which I don't know why people thought then that they would have taken him in the 2nd round. Maybe they thought they'd trade up, or maybe they traded their 2nd-round pick. I can't remember. But 3rd round, they taken let's see, outside linebacker out of Utah, Jonah Ellis. That's a good pick. Yep. Utah's defense, pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. Solid. You know anything about Jonah Ellis?
He's been a journeyman out there for Utah. Very solid player, man. Not a bad pick at all right here in the 3rd round. Solid tackler, can kind of play sideline to sideline there. So, I like Jonah Ellis. I think it's a good pick with some value right there at 76.
I have zero idea who Troy Franklin, wide receiver for Oregon, is. I don't remember.
Oh, I know Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin's also a player. He's had some injury issues with Oregon, but was kind of a more deep threat for Bo Nix. So that's kind of a big pick right there. 2 guys that have played together, got some chemistry and stuff. So not a bad pick at all right there, especially in round 4. Troy Franklin played a lot of college football.
You said that like you actually know him, like you call him up on the phone right now.
Yeah, man, I call Troy. What's up, Troy? How you doing, Troy?
How's training camp going, baby?
That's right. Tell me, give me the
rookie OTAs.
Can I bet on you guys? Second in the division.
When is rookie OTAs? Is it or mini camp?
Oh, that's been going on.
Beginning of August.
No,
but rookie mini camp, because don't they have to report first?
They usually do. I mean, most of those guys have been in how I think OTA started about a month ago, something like that, and the rookies come in immediately, and so training camp will be kicked off here in probably a couple weeks, I guess. At this point,
that would make sense. Then they got a 5th-round draft pick, cornerback out of Missouri, Chris Abrams-Drain. They also in the 5th round took a running back, Audric Estime from Notre Dame. And
Oh,
the
that's
seventh round,
Estime, Audric Estime, from Notre Dame. There, pretty good pick too. Especially what is that 6th round pick? Did they get him right there? So yeah,
fifth.
Okay, they didn't have a 6th round pick. Okay, yeah, but I do like some value there in Estime, man. Another guy played a lot of college football, a lot of big time college football, and can fit into a number of different offenses.
All right. And then 7th round pick, you're just hoping and praying. Wide receiver out of Utah. Was it Devon Veal? And then a guard out of South Carolina, Nick Gargiulo.
yeah. I don't know a lot about either one of those guys.
Let's
There,
go with that.
We know our 7th round picks. You're just kind of taking a shot in the dark, hoping it works out.
Yeah. And here's
What's up, Glenn Bird?
Awesome.
Happy 4th.
What up, Glenn Bird? How we doing? Happy Independence Day, Game On. Happy Independence Day to you, sir.
That's right.
Happy Independence Day to you. Cricket, real quick. I gotta step away. Talk to him about this depth chart. I mean, look at that thing. It looks nice, doesn't it?
Let's see here. Let me get this blown up so I can see this thing. Looks like you got Jarrett Stidham listed as the starter at QB, Bo Nix, and then Zach Wilson there. That is a rough quarterback room for now. Anyway, you got Javonte Williams like going to be starting at running back, and Samaje Perine there backing him up. Jaleel McLaughlin got some time in there last year, and then we talk about Audric Estime, the 6th round. What was he? Fifth round, 6th round pick, 5th round, I believe, out of Notre Dame. So, not a bad looking running back room right there. And then wide receiver, you got Cortland Sutton coming back, who's been a big time player for them. Tim Patrick, they re-signed him in the offseason. Like that guy, could be a good possession receiver. And then Josh Reynolds coming over from the Detroit Lions, really played well last year for those Lions, stepped up in some big spots. You got a little Jordan Humphrey backing him up. And then you got, you got Troy Franklin backing up Josh Reynolds, the draft pick out of Oregon, which I think is a good pick, man. That guy's a very athletic guy, can get vertical down the field and make plays with his hands. Got great hands, as long as he can avoid the injury bug. Had some lower body injuries last year, some ankles and stuff like that affected him a little bit, but I do think he is a great talent. I do think they got some value. Get him in the 4th round there. Talk about Marvin Mims Jr. earlier. We like Marvin Mims Jr. He showed some glimpses of flashes of greatness last year. I believe returned a kickoff or something for a touchdown. Guy's kind of electrifying. Anytime he touches the ball, has the ability to take it to the house, but just still trying to put it all together there. A little Jordan Humphrey backing him up. You look at Troutman as the tight end there, and then Dulcich coming back to back him up in that spot. So no real big names in the tight end right there. You good, man?
Yeah, sorry. I thought I heard Little Man. They're still sleeping. This is great. This is good news for today.
Good news, man. You controlling on that as far as the you see the offensive line there, man. All the different guys. Garrett Bowles leading the way with that big payday for him. But you get over the defensive side over here, man. Tell me what you think about this defense, man.
I mean, Denver's kind of been known for their defense a lot, over the last half decade or so. And
hell,
I'm looking at this. I'm seeing
Von Miller got the MVP.
Yeah, I'm seeing. And you got Patrick Surtain, great draft pick there a couple of years ago. But like Zach Allen, but aren't we getting a little bit past his prime? Right,
up in years there at this point, right?
Yeah. What about you got Jonathan Cooper? But I mean, to be honest, nothing stands out to me. And I'm not a huge Broncos fan, so nothing's really standing out to me. But anyone stand out to you on this?
I mean, I like Alex Singleton, but another guy that kind of some injury problems in that thing. I mean, no big time name. The biggest name on that defense right there is Pat Surtain, and then obviously you go to probably Zach Allen. Like I said, Singleton's been kind of a journeyman in this defense. Cody Barton can step in, make some plays, but I mean, I don't see any names. And sometimes we see this. Sometimes you don't have any of those big name guys on the defense. I mean, you get more of a team rapport, kind of a chemistry rolling together. So maybe that's something, especially with a guy like Sean Payton, his great coach, schematics and all that stuff. But, I don't see anything that makes me absolutely love the Broncos. Feel like they got a better chance or should have a better record than they did last year.
This year is all going to be about coaching because both on offense and defense, nothing really stands out. I mean, you got Jarrett Stidham as your starting quarterback. And this is what happens when you got over 25% of your draft or of your cap space tied up to people that aren't on the team. Like we're not expected to see some big names, right? Because
hell, you can't pay them.
yeah. I mean, you can't afford to get a big name in there because you've shot and missed on other ones. So
yep, and you wind up getting a lot of these guys on rookie contracts, get them for a discount, and then by the time they're anything, you ain't had anything to put around them. The team's so bad they want to go somewhere else.
Absolutely. So now this is my favorite part. We get to project, we get to preview this year's season, and we go game by game where I guess the line. of the game, and Cricket tells me if I'm right or wrong. We're gonna guess the spreads of all of these. This is my favorite. I love these. I love doing this.
I think
By the
over
way,
under
did you end up-
2.5 today.
Yeah, we'll keep it at 2.5. We're on our first.
Seems reasonable. Still warming up.
You got a cold, so I mean, you gotta cut me some slack. So, Chad, do you think I'm gonna get over or under 2.5? Exactly right. Exactly right. By the way, did you end up getting that? Did you find out if that magazine's out yet or not?
Man, I wound up not stopping in there the other day. I hate Hamilton Place, bro. I'm telling you, I still got like flashback nightmares from being at the Mall of America a few weeks ago and stuff. I wound up not stopping there. I'll go get it in a couple.
Is
weeks.
it out? Because if it is, I'm gonna swing by today.
I'm sure it is. I usually just go mid-July and grab it, bro. It usually is. It usually comes out around this time. Just look up there. I'll look up.
Right off Amazon, huh?
It's Phil. You definitely get it off Amazon. Like I said, it'd be about $30 for you there. But yeah, the Phil Steele college football preview that's the best one for college football, man. That guy's unreal. The amount of time they put in.
Digital magazine. Ooh, I can buy the digital.
You probably buy the digital. I like the actual copy, man. I like to hold it
in your hands, huh?
Yep.
Okay, right. I'll take a look at that later. Anyways, I think I jinxed myself.
You need to get your copy of that though, man.
I'm gonna get one. We're gonna be breaking down the old college football. They open up at Seattle this year. I want to say the Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites.
Broncos plus 4.5 at the Seahawks.
4.5.
4.5. That's pretty high. I feel like
it is. I know one of my contest picks week 1.
That's right.
Okay, then they're home against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 2-point favorites.
Broncos plus 3 at home against the Steelers.
3-point dogs against the Steelers. That is insane. That is okay. All right. I'm off by a point and a half here. Okay. I got to go to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay at Seattle. Tampa Bay. That's got to be comparable. Tampa Bay 4.5-point favorites.
Broncos plus 3.5 at the Buccaneers.
I was gonna say 3.5. So they're telling me the Seahawks are better than the freaking. Are you telling me that the Seahawks are better than the Buccaneers? I don't believe that for a damn bit. Not a damn bit. Broncos at the Jets. That one's tough because this is the Aaron Rodgers Jets 7.5-point favorites.
Whoa! How'd you hit that one? That's crazy. Broncos plus 7.5 at the Jets.
I need to get us a bell. I need to get us a chime.
No way you can get that one, bro.
Yeah, I need to get us a chime, or I need like
bring your ass. Hey, bring your.
That's right. Bring your ass. I got it right. Let's go.
Just do the smack.
Okay, then we got home against the Raiders. I feel like they're 2-point favorites against the Raiders.
Broncos -1 at the Raiders, or at home against the Raiders. Excuse me, -1. What's up, Budro?
There, huh?
What's he got there?
Monkey. We got a little monkey because he's.
That's right.
We're gonna do fireworks today.
All right, bro. That's big time. Let's go.
Let's go, huh? Yeah. What were they? Sorry, what were they?
Broncos are -1 at home against the Raiders.
Point off there. Okay. And then they're home against the Chargers. Chargers 3.5-point favorites.
Broncos +2 at home against the Chargers.
Really? I think I got that wrong when we did the Chargers too. Thursday night football at the Saints. Saints 3-point favorites.
Broncos +3.5 at the Saints.
There's that dirty hook. Okay.
Then looks like we got the Panthers at the Broncos here.
Home against the Broncos. 2.5-point favorites.
Oh, right on the money, sir. Broncos -2.5 at home against the Panthers. We got to up this number, man.
Yeah, I know we are. I'm getting it. Well, hold on. We'll see if I can get this one. He found the fireworks.
Let's go.
Yeah. He wants to do this monster truck one.
Man, you better let that boy do that monster truck. You better go light that.
Do that later today, okay? Okay. Let's see. Then we've got at Baltimore. Baltimore 9.5-point favorites.
Broncos +10.5 at Baltimore.
10. I was about to say it's probably 10.
You're all over it, man.
All right. Then at the Chiefs 9.5-point favorites.
Broncos +9 at the Chiefs.
Oh, that dirty hook.
I didn't think you'd be close to that one.
+9. Really?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
who
what
does
I'm
plus?
saying.
It ends up being 9.5 or 10.5. No one.
What a stupid number.
I know, right? He's pulling out all the fireworks. Then home against Atlanta. Atlanta 3.5-point favorites.
Broncos +3 at home.
Oh, I was gonna say 3. Oh, the hook again. Dude, they don't got a bye week till week 14. Jeez, that's a long stretch.
They're not doing them any favors there either.
Then at Vegas, what was it? Vegas was 2-point favorites there, right? And then, maybe I'm getting that mixed up. I'm thinking of the Chargers. I think they were 2-point. Vegas 2-point favorites at home against the Broncos.
Broncos +3 at the Raiders.
God. Then home against Cleveland. Cleveland. This one I'm going to say Cleveland 6-point favorites.
Broncos +3.5 at home against the Browns.
Ooh, that's some respect to the Broncos. Then we get a bye week, much needed bye week at that point. And home against the Colts. Colts 1-point favorites.
Broncos +2.5 at home against the Colts.
You jinxed me, man. And then at LA 3.5-point favorites.
Broncos +4 at the Chargers.
Damn, hook. That's 3 hooks now. Yes. And then at Cincinnati, I gotta think Cincinnati's 6.5-point favorite. Well, hold on. Pump the brakes. If that's that, and we're thinking that they're gonna be 7.5-point favorites.
Broncos +8 at the Bengals.
Oh, the hook. That's 4 hooks. And then home against Kansas City. This one was tough. Kansas City 6.5-point favorites.
Broncos +4 at home against the Chiefs.
Oh, we didn't get there. You jinxed me. We didn't get there,
man. It worked, man. My reverse psychology worked, bro.
Oh man. Okay, real quick, pull up. Can you pull up their division odds or something? I'm gonna get Lil Man set up.
Yeah, I will. Let me get all this stuff moving around here. Give me just a second, y'all. But we will get the division odds pulled up. The Broncos, like I said, I don't know. Looking at that schedule, man, I don't love that schedule for them. Especially don't love it seeing the bye week not until week 14 there. I feel like you got some young guys probably gonna need some rest before then. So let's get over here and look at division winners and pull this up. Looks like we've got the Chiefs are the favorites to win this division at -230. Then the Chargers are second at +320. Raiders +900 and the Broncos at +1800. So the Broncos, obviously the dogs in this situation right here. I don't know. I don't know how you bet on anybody but the Chiefs there, but I do not think there is a lot of value on the Chiefs, obviously at -230. I never like to bet a season-long bet like that, a futures bet that's going to last 4 or 5 months with money tied up from your account. I never like to lay that kind of money on something like
that. Especially when you're like one injury away from that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big dog, obviously if the big dog goes down, then they plummet right there. But I don't know, man. Is it worth the sprinkle on the Broncos?
To win the division?
At 1,800? Plus 1,800?
No, not with that, Ross. You can't win the division with a quarter of your salary cap.
No, it's true.
I can't put. I mean, they could win it, but I can't. It's not a smart bet.
They could win it, but it would take something like key injuries to key players on other teams.
Yeah, it's too much unknown.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to power through that so I could quickly go put.
No. You're good, bro. You're good there. Like I said, get him set up and all that. Looks like, let's see, get over here. We look at the conference winner. The AFC, the Broncos are plus 9,000. You put your little dollar on that to win you 91 if you want to, man.
What are their Super Bowl odds? Let's take a look at their Super Bowl odds.
Let's see the Super Bowl odds. They're going to be way down there. They are plus. You put a dollar to win 150, y'all.
Ooh,
well, plus 15,000 on that thing.
Maybe Derp was right. Maybe 3-14 is going to be their record, but that's what we got. What's your season win total?
Ooh, I was going to say, let's look at that. We need to see win totals, man. Let me find those here.
I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 5.5. Is it 5.5?
Let's see here. We'll have to scroll down here till we find them. They don't have them in any kind of order here. But let's see. Broncos. You can pick these, man. Actually, you can decide what you want to put on these. They're going to be way down here at the bottom. There they are. You can go over 5.5 wins at plus 105. Over 4.5 is minus 185.
So they're over under basically is 5.5.
You can go. Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it's right at 5.5 there. You can go under 4.5 dirt for plus 150.
Woo. Get you.
Hell, you can go under 3.5 for plus 290. If you're thinking that 3-14 is going to come through.
You go over 3.5 at minus 380. That's not a bad bet. I mean, you got to lay a lot of juice, but they're getting 4 wins. They play Carolina.
I mean, yeah, it's going to blow your mind when they lose that one at home. That should be great.
All right, there you have it. There's our Denver Bronco preview. What we're going to do tomorrow. Well, it might be tomorrow, but now that we've finished up our division here, we are going to find our best bets in all sorts of different angles and ways on these teams, and then we're going to give them to you. What do you got? What do you got for me?
Oh, Derb, they won't even let you bet the exact. Yeah, they will. There it is. The 3 wins plus 600, Dirk.
Woo!
You bet exactly 5 wins at plus 400.
So what we'll do is we're both going to break down some of our favorite bets, and we'll just kind of scroll through and see what we like for the whole division and give them to you. And then we might do that tomorrow. Probably is going to be Saturday, depending on how today goes. Since it is the 4th, I don't think either of us is going to have much time to kind of dive in as much as we would like to. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a little bit of both. But at some point, either tomorrow or the next day, we will be diving into these picks for you and give you our best AFC West 2024 picks for that division.